This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Everybody needs to see this. I want to know your opinions on it. And obviously this is an observation for somebody who studies this stuff and sees this stuff just like everybody who listens to this channel for the most part does. James Van Der Beek is an actor. He was on the TV show Dawson's Creek. And he's currently on the television show, or was currently on the show Dancing with the Stars, which in America has become a very popular show. Don't ask me why anybody wants to watch this, but they do. And recently, before he was eliminated, his wife had a miscarriage. Now, obviously, that's something that can really occur in real life. Obviously, if you look at the statistics of people who are having miscarriages now, it's very frightening, the amount of people. Of course, nobody's suspicious of that, by the way, and that has a lot to do with vaccinations, chemtrails, chemicals, and all that. But nobody wants to ever address that. They think it's just an act of God or it's a coincidental thing. Everybody's just going, walking around like zombies, not paying attention to the rise in all the diseases and things like that. Nonetheless, I didn't think anything of it at first until I researched James Van Der Beek after it was announced that it was his sixth child that his wife was having, that they had this miscarriage. He stayed on the show even though it had happened that weekend. And there was a lot of eerie things surrounding his performance, surrounding his background, his faith in the Kabbalah. And you can listen to his interview here where he even says, wherever, my child goes in this world beyond, or whatever he's saying, you can listen for yourself.
That his wife Kimberly had suffered a miscarriage over the weekend.
My wife Kimberly and I went through every expectant parent's worst nightmare. We lost the baby. The little soul that we had expected to welcome into our family took a shortcut to whatever lies beyond.
So here are some things I want to point out, and I want to know what you think, because there's a bunch of things. Number one, James Van Der Beek is a devout worshiper of the Kabbalah. Now, I can't get into too much detail about that here, but I can on my website at callforunuprising.com, where you can talk about these types of things and point out Jewish mysticism and that type of stuff. He was married in Israel, so he's pretty devout. You can see him wearing the Kabbalah bracelet. You can see the Kabbalah bracelet on his children. Okay, he doesn't hide that. Now, this was his sixth child, and the performance is really what the eerie part of it is.
Dancing the foxtrot with his partner Emma, it's James Van Der Beek.
The performance was the foxtrot. Now, using gematria, fox, the term fox, the word fox, is 666 in gematria. So the 666 trot, the 666 trot, after the sixth child of his passed via miscarriage. Now, look at this. This is where it gets bizarre. The song he elected is the song called Take Me to Church. Now, unfortunately, there's Christians that actually hear this song and think that this is a pro-Christian song. You can even see in the comment section how many people are mocking Christians. It's an anti-Christian song. It's a blasphemous song. The video itself is just more propaganda. A gay guy and they're making out, and then all these Christians come and they beat them up, and they're just promoting this type of nonsense, which nobody ever really hears that ever happens in this world. Because as a Christian, I have no ill will towards anybody's sexual preference. My problem is that there's all the stuff I always talk about, right? Putting it on kids, promoting it. You can see the statistics and how many more people are living this lifestyle now because of how it's promoted. Obviously flaunting it around and all that stuff I don't agree with, but no violence. So the song is really much saying that Christians are, this is the type of stuff they do if somebody doesn't agree with their faith, and they're evil people. And of course there's lyrics of the song, which I'll read you a couple of lyrics, and then you're going to have to see some of the imagery from the dance, because it's just pretty ridiculous. Which, of course, is taking place inside of a giant magic circle, ritual circle, right? Now, if you're new to this stuff, I'm sure you've seen it before, right? In the horror movies or wherever, where the witches are doing their spell, and there's the big circle, and they have the pentagram in it. Well, here's your big ritual circle, right? So he's inside the circle the entire dance until he leaves the circle. Then is when we see some checkerboard, some Masonic checkerboard and things like that, as well as a full moon, which is another thing that's associated with ritual sacrifice. A lot of these sacrifices that occur usually in the midnight hours, specifically around 3 o'clock in the morning, and they do a lot of these on specific type of moons, and you can see it's actually looks almost like a blood moon, like a red moon. I don't think that's some type of coincidence. This is just eerie that he uses the song as well, Take Me to Church. And the lyrics of the song, I'll read you some of them. Like I said, the theme of it is, two gay guys, and he starts talking about God as a woman, which is another common theme that we see in this song, where he says, I should have worshipped her sooner. If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Goes on to say, take me to church, I'll worship like a dog. At the shrine of your lies, I'll tell you my sins, and you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. Take me to church. So think about that. This is what he chose after what just occurred, right? That's the thing. I'm not putting anything saying this is 100% what happened. This is how they operate, right? We know that to use sigil magic and the types of dark arts that they perform, they reveal this stuff in different ways, right? The audience, of course, is always going to feel sympathy. They're not going to question any of this stuff. But what people don't realize is that abortions in general are used as ritual sacrifices. Why do you think they promote it so much? Why do you think all of these celebrities promote Planned Parenthood? Okay, because they need these children at their altars that they worship, these altars of Baal, these satanic, just disturbed people who aren't anything like any of us. So the lyrics are talking about his child just passes away, and he's talking about take me to church, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins, you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me give you my life. That's the lyrics of the song that's playing. You think that's merely a coincidence? Then there's more. After the actual performance, he picks up his daughter. He says something about his wife. He loves her. And she's wearing the black and white Masonic checkerboard outfit. Right? These are all things that you can look at it and go, well, this guy's he's just stretching it. Am I? Why is it always the same stuff, the same patterns? Freemasonry, blood moons, ritual circles. These lyrics of a song. Always about, there's always death surrounding. And I get it. Like I said in the beginning, miscarriages, things happen. But it's still worth looking at and going, right? Because don't be surprised if James Van Der Beek has some type of revival of his career, because the guy hasn't been in a thing since Dawson's Creek that anybody remembers. And most of you probably don't know what Dawson's Creek even is. Dawson's Creek was like a TV show, like Party of Five or 90210 type of show. A little less, it wasn't like a Melrose Place kind of thing, but it was a show in the 90s. And since then, he hasn't done much. He comes on the show now. Obviously, the celebrities that go on the show aren't real celebrities. I mean, they're like, celebrities who are like wandering around, have nothing to do, and then, they get athletes and stuff. But don't be surprised to see a revival in his career, because that's what we always see when these people are surrounded by these types of incidences in their life. Coincidence? You tell me. And then another thing is that his wife, which is, look, this is stuff that I just find to be bizarre human behavior, right? Posting on Instagram after this stuff happens, after having a miscarriage. Who's thinking about doing that? Now, I get it. We live in a self-absorbed society, so people are going to do that stuff, which is sad and sick. But, if something like this occurs, the first thing I'm not thinking about is let me go get sympathy on the internet and post about it. But what would she post? She posts a picture of a healing altar. So they have a healing altar, which is just more magic and mysticism, right? Which is exactly what the Kabbalah teaches. So look at all these things and put them together. I'll recap, and you tell me what you think in the comment section below. Now, this is Hollywood. This is how this stuff works. You got the two of them being Kabbalah, Kabbalah witches, because that's really what they are, right? That's really what we practice the Kabbalah. You're practicing mysticism. You can see for yourself. You want to, research it on your own, or you want to join the website at callfornuprising.com. You can interact with each other there on the forum and talk about it and share information. So they're married in Israel. They're devout Kabbalah worshippers. The sixth child is the one that goes. He performs the foxtrot. Fox is 666. That's the most basic gematria. This isn't even going into in-depth with reverse numerology. It's basic. And most people who are awake, whether they're devoutly, into gematria, say, no, Fox is 666. That's why Fox, the channel, Fox. That's what it stands for. Then he's inside of this circle. The whole dance is inside of this ritual circle. He doesn't go outside of it until the moon arrives. And the moon arrives, and you see the black and white. And you see checkerboard. Some it's black and white. It mixes in and out. And the blood moon arrives. You can even even see the light shaped as a pyramid around the circle in the beginning. And then, of course, his daughter's wearing the black and white clothing. The song Take Me to Church, which has lyrics talking about, good God, let me give you my life, offer me that deathless death. Just talking about death and sacrifice, right? Which is a song that's about blasphemy, really. If you're a Christian, you should be, sickened by the lyrics and the video specifically of the song, which even has more lyrics than that. I'm just giving you the basic lyrics. Another verse of the song says, if I'm pagan of the good times, my lover's the sunlight. To keep the goodness on my side, she demands a sacrifice. So there you go. Probably should have read that verse earlier. So if you're still here listening, that's another verse. If I'm pagan of the good times, my lover's the sunlight. To keep the goddess on my side, she demands a sacrifice. Interesting, right? As he's doing this, after all this stuff happens, he's inside this ritual, sort of the blood moon then shows up, or whatever kind of moon you want to say it is. It looks to me like a blood moon. Kids in the black and white, the wife's putting up pictures of altars in her home. You tell me what you think. Coincidence or not? I mean, I don't believe in coincidences. I look at this stuff and I just raise my eyebrows and I go, yeah, there's something. Just because there always is. They always reveal themselves. It's the zombies out there that don't see this stuff because they're naive fools. They're weak-minded. Right? They're the type of people that get walked on in life because they're so naive and weak and pathetic. These people are always operating like this, always in front of our faces. And this channel has showed you that time and time again. Now, like I've said before, I just want to thank everybody out there who's a patron of this channel. It's you that keeps me going here on YouTube. I recommend everybody gets over to the website at callfornuprising.com. Because there's new changes coming to YouTube in December. I don't know if I'm going to be somebody who gets eliminated because of it. I would have to, I know everybody thinks that they're the one that's going to get taken down. I would actually lean on the other side of it because I don't think they want to deal with the whiplash and the brushback that's going to come from it. It's probably not worth it to them. They've already suppressed the channel, so it's not going to grow any more than it already has, but we'll see what happens. But if you want to watch my videos and you want more in-depth stuff and you want to interact with other like-minded people, check out my website at callforuprising.com. It's a great place to share information and obviously grow in the awakening process. I thank you all for listening to today's show. Let me know what you think in the comment section below as I stutter. Thank you all again. God bless you and your families.